I just pulled off a nice meditation. I'm gonna go fill my belly.
Yeah.
Friday and Saturday cash games should be amazing here. Let's get some food and then get some money.
Always.
Me too. No matter what I got. Chop it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
me too. I chopped aces 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
What's going on, guys? We're just gonna jump right into this part 3 of Reno. The rest of the time here was straight cash table grinding. This was a great time to just go for it. Everyone's always wanting to see hands. So let's go for a lengthy vlog showing a bunch of hands. Some good, some bad, some boring, some great. But let's just get into some hands and see how it goes. So getting to the action. At this point, limped in on the small blind with 8-9 offsuit, 3 ways. The flop was 9-7 jack. So I check and the player behind me checks. The button bets 10. We both make the call and we go to the turn. Comes a 6. I have plans with this card to put a check raise in, try to represent some strength here. So I start out with a check, player behind me checks, button fires again for 15, I put in the raise for 45, and I get them both to fold. Starting off with a good strong grab, chipping up, and starting my spot at the table.
You're not dealing anymore?
No.
For real?
Yeah.
In Vegas, right?
Yeah. Vegas and Peru.
Peru?
Yeah.
It is and it is.
I have the ayahuasca company out there, the retreat.
Medicare. Yeah. Decent Medicare. Yeah, the
Hot stuff. Lots of stuff.
I might need to take it.
Everybody does. It's a life-changing
You
deal.
still with the same girl?
No.
That cute little thing that came up there with you?
She's gorgeous, yeah, but nah, I'm a free bird.
So how much do I need to go?
I can't see her doing that with anything else.
Yeah. So as you can see in this hand, it's pretty friggin' crazy. There's a guy at the table who's absolutely drunk and needs to know every single option, every hand, every street. One of those funny situations at a drunken 1-2 game. He's obliviated, but he's funny. It's kind of a good time. So as you just heard, he's has to figure out his actions, so everyone's trying to catch him. He sat down with $40. He's got like 300 in front of him now, just doubling up with lucky stuff. It's literally hilarious. People are starting to get confused on how to play against him because it's pretty insane. So here's a great example of the hand. And this is a mistake on my behalf, trying to outplay someone who doesn't understand. I wake up with a ace-9 off in the big blind, ace of hearts. Finally, he like limps in. He's like the cutoff, hijack, something right around there. And so he comes in, we go to the flop. It's 7-8 deuce. There are 2 hearts. So I have some backdoor stuff going on. Check, check, check. He drunkenly bets 10. I call, and the player behind me calls. So the turn comes a 10 of hearts. So I check, the guy behind me checks, and he tries to put a big bet in, but takes some back and puts more out, and then I don't know, it got ridiculous.
You're gonna have to be really careful about the motions you make towards the pot. You're gonna have to
do one more. Somehow they settled on 14.
You're gonna have to put the chips back that you put out there. Yeah, you put about 14 out there. That's the bet.
So it's looking better in my hand. I'm excited because I'm drawn to the nuts here, and also have some really good straight draws. By this point, I was like, well, maybe I shouldn't raise. I don't know what the hell's going on. It kind of threw the table off. And so I ended up just flatting. I was thinking I'd just reevaluate. If I got to the river, I'd probably be able to get all the money anyways. So I'm not going to push it now. So I ended up just flatting. And a king of spades comes, which is pretty much a brick. But I'm pretty sure the guy behind me sees me for strength right now, and he thinks I'm milking this other guy. I know I can get him to fold, and if he folds, maybe the other guy will just fold. I know he's not strong, because it just seems weird. And it works. The guy folds behind me pretty quickly, and I look up at him, and he's just smiling, drunk, like he doesn't even care. And I was like, oh no! I immediately knew I screwed up. I was like, why did I even bet in this guy? And he calls, and he ends up rolling over a pair of sixes for the win. Oh man! Oh, so careful on that. Don't bluff somebody who just doesn't know what's going on. Just play straight up poker. Never try to bluff them. I always try it occasionally, and it almost always fails me.
Everybody else folds there. Everybody.
I have no idea. Sounding good, huh?
I should know better though.
Alright, yellow. 12 to call if you want.
Three's not in there. It's not working.
Alright, so we've been screwing around big time. Everyone's joking around, really like cutting it up, ordering drinks. Keep in mind, I am not drinking, but the table's nuts, having a grand old time. I'm on the big blind and I peel king 10 of clubs. This is only a couple hands later. We're literally still talking about the last hand.
High rolling. Here we go.
20.
So this plays so perfectly. You have to understand, this hand was so beautiful. The way it lined up back to back. I just got this player to my left to fold the monster hand. It's perfect. He saw that I have these capabilities of making these big plays, things like that. So it plays so perfect into this hand. I literally just finished telling him I wasn't worried about him, that I knew he would fold to my bet. So the drunken guy bumps it up 20 pre-flop. I'm thinking, oh great, I have a beautiful Broadway suited hand, king 10 clubs. I call, and the guy behind me that I just pushed off calls. So it's an ego battle here, right? We go to the flop, smash it. Ace, 3, 7, all clubs, flop.
I am the guy.
So I'm going to continue playing around,
The guy.
acting like I'm not too interested in the hand, trying to talk with the players, keep the fun entertainment going. I obviously check. The guy behind me makes a bet. It gets to the drunk guy, you can hear him talking about all the clovers, and I'm playing with my cards, kind of like I don't care, like I'm going to fold. And he's talking about the clovers, I'm mocking him.
So what's it?
Mad clovers.
He calls the 20, I call the 20, and I check blind.
Check.
So the guy continues behind me betting. He bets 75, and it goes to the drunk guy.
Watch your hand, buddy. I will look. I'm done with this shit. I'll look.
I'll take it out of us, please. Thank you.
How much?
75. Can I get a water, please?
How many people?
3.
75 to me?
Yep.
As you could tell, the pressure was just building up. It was taking forever for this guy to act. He asked the same questions over and over and over in the same street. I let out a moan like, oh god, like I'm drawing and I have to call or something crazy. But all I'm really thinking about is Vegas and the fucking Mirage.
Oh God.
And the other player starts talking about how I could possibly river it if another club comes, so I kind of want to play into that a little bit.
The river runs through it.
What do you say? What the heck?
So I keep making light of what's happening and joking, you know, trying to keep that my hand probably isn't that strong. And I finally put the raise in, make it 175. Guy immediately goes all in behind me. I'm freaking singing bells. I have him covered. I believe I have 700 behind. And the guy that just went all in behind me has about 500. And at this point, the drunk man has maybe 200 more left behind, so I'm hoping he gets his 200 in, but it takes him forever. By the time he finally gets it in, I snap my hand over, so happy to have the nuts and to take it down. I say yes, and I step away from the table to blow the steam off, turn around to see the board pair on the river, and then they show the hands.
Oh no, don't tell me, don't tell me, don't tell me.
Oh!
Huh?
Full house.
Oh, he's got it. Oh, I got 2 pairs. Good job, Larry. I'm actually okay with that.
Probably the worst night of poker I've had in 4 years. It's never about the money for me. It's about the game. Wow. Let me tell you about what the second nuts is like. I was always pipped, and I am feeling gross right now. I'm feeling really gross, a little beat up, and that's poker, man. It's not all fun and games, for sure, and you could play perfect and still just get wiped out. So that's the life of poker, but it is part of the swings, and that's why no matter what you're doing, if you play poker, you will have swings. It's a guarantee. You are going to lose, and probably a lot. As long as you're winning, you just have to win more than you lose, and that's part of it. It is a roller coaster. You ride the roller coaster, and that's why I don't do it professionally anymore. Definitely a profitable player, but I'm just not sick enough to ride those waves consistently, and ultimately what ends up happening is I get discouraged after some long variance. So luckily now that's not what I have to do. So ultimately now I'm down for the trip a little bit. It's been a really, really rough couple days. I've managed to always pull myself back out of a really shitty position and make a profit, a small profit every night. But this bad run today set me back. Alright, so we're on floor 13. Let's see, it's right here?
Going down.
Okay, I guess we're just going down. On me. Oh my goodness, that's right. Nothing like rejuvenating after what? 16, 17 hours of poker?
Yeah, 16 hours yesterday. Cheers.
Cheers, grinding it. Yeah, buddy.
Ralph K. 1 tuna limit, Ralph.
10 more.
She's
Alright, in this hand, I decided to get a little saucy. This table's starting to be a little tight, so I'm going to start putting some pressure on to take advantage of it. So there's one limp behind me. I look down at ace 5 off. So I decide to limp in the cutoff. The button ends up folding, and the blinds call check. So we go 4 players to the flop, 5 deuce 9. It checks around to me. It seems like nobody wants to bet. That's kind of the story of this table so far. So even with middle pair and a good kicker, I'm just like, screw it, let's do it. I put in a $6 bet because the pot's so small, and I get 1 caller in the big blind, I believe. And we go to the turn. It is an ace, so spiked 2 pair sounds good to me. I go ahead and bet again, so I continue firing, maybe to induce, and they just fold. So, you know, I'm starting to wonder if this table sucks. I'll keep my eye on it, possibly gonna move soon, but let's just go to the next
Thank
hand.
you. Nice action. Ah, there she is. It's done.
Sorry, I'm a little distracted during these poker hands too, and maybe that's why the table's playing a little bit shitty, because the UFC's on and we're all kind of watching at the same time, so that might have something to do with the slow game. So there's a live 5 on the next hand. I'm in the small blind and I wake up with pocket queens.
21.
Because there's a couple limps now for 5 with the straddle on, I raise pretty big to 21. Okay, this is a really interesting hand. The dealer basically made a mistake. This game is a game of information, so dealer assumed I checked. Why? I don't know. It took me a second to even realize that she said I checked. I looked up and said, what? What?
Did you check?
No. So the board came 10, 6, deuce, rainbow. So this is a great board for me to continue kind of represent an ace king. Hopefully I'll get some calls.
All right.
Considering the dealer kind of messed up, once I realized what was happening, I looked up. The other player was going for chips.
25.
I thought to myself, well, if he's going to lead, then shit, I might as well check, maybe put a check raise in. So I decided to go ahead and say, all right, I do check. And he puts his $25 bet in. Originally, I was like, okay, I'm going to raise, I'm going to check raise after this, but as I started really thinking, it looks way too strong considering the mistake with the dealer. So I decided to flat instead. I don't really want to give away all my strength yet. We go to the turn and it is an ace. But since I'm trying to induce on this hand, I ended up checking blind before the turn came out. So I wanted him to bet, but it ends up being an ace, which is an overcard for me. So I was like, damn, that sucks. But he immediately checks behind. That's a good sign. I'm assuming he's afraid of the ace now. He probably thinks I hit it. The river comes a king, another terrible card. So I'm like, ugh. At this point, I just can't think of what he could possibly have. And he must have a pair. I mean, maybe he's got jacks, maybe 9s, 8s, something like that. What are you going to call pre-flop, $21, check when an ace comes? Yeah, just a lot of hands don't make sense, so I'm going to try to squeeze $40 more out of him. I do need to be a little bit careful here, though, because typically the only person that's going to be making a call in this spot is someone who has me beat. So in the future, I do need to be a little bit more careful in these spots. I think it would have just been a lot smarter for me to check it down. Kind of a weird hand here. I'm in the small blind with Jack 7 of clubs. There's a middle position raised to 8 pre-flop. And on the small blind, I'm certainly going to defend with this hand. We get 4 players to the flop. Flop is Queen, Jack, 4. And there is 1 club, so I got some backdoor going on. I check, another player checks, guy bets 20. And one other player calls, and I call myself. I think it's a little too early to fold here. The turn comes a 5 of clubs, so now we also have a flush draw. I ended up blind checking at this point. and everybody checks behind. A little suspicious to me. I feel I might have the best hand at this point. The river comes, a 6 of diamonds. I check again. He bets 26. Really small sizing here, and you know, I'm not super excited about making the call, but I pretty much have to in this spot. I feel I have the best hand, especially with everybody checking the turn. It's pretty interesting. So I make a crying call, and I sit, and I basically wait. I'm just waiting for him to show his hand. I called him, and he ends up just mucking his hand. So we take it down.
Thank you. Looks like commissioners or something. Gets hit again, you could. People are already tooling on it, huh? Wow.
Another damn chop. Man, since I started this vlog, I've chopped so many decent hands. It's so funny. For these next few hands, I'm literally not even going to break them down. You guys can watch what happens. I'm playing garbage hands from all positions, and the game is so tight that I'm just trying to loosen up the game. I end up hitting a bunch of hands, though. It's kind of weird, and nobody plays with me. So you can watch the next few of these hands. You can kind of see and listen to the table talk as it unfolds. One hand, I flopped 2 pair. Another hand, I flopped trips. Another hand, I rivered a gut shot. I mean, it gets gross. Check it out.
Yep. What the hell? Nobody wants to play. Ever. I can't do anything. Thank you. Yeah, it's smashing every fucking hand. I can't get nobody to play with it. Yeah, I think that's him. Yeah, that's him, right? It's ugly, guys. It's ugly. Almost really close. Thank you.
Thank you. That's a great ribbon for my crappy hands. Is that runner for a straight? It was, no, that's gross. 4 diamonds went to the runner. Yeah, $6 was just too cheap to draw, even for a gutter. I'm just trying to donate my money, you know? $12.
12 it is.
Alright, so I start talking crap and kind of put myself into a funny spot. It felt great at first, but it slowly got worse and worse. So I raised to 12. One of the blinds calls and a guy in middle position calls. Flop comes ace 5-5. This is a great flop for me. They both check. I go ahead and bet 17 or 18. The blind calls and the guy in middle position folds. The turn is an 8. He checks. I bet 21. He calls, and the river comes another 8. There's a pair of 8s and a pair of 5s on the board with an ace. So I have 2 pair. The small blind's been slow playing the crap out of this hand, it seems like, and I'm starting to get worried. Just as I decide I'm probably gonna shut down on this hand, he decides to lead 40 on the river. 40. And you can listen to me analyze it out loud. This table is so tight. I mean, for him to lead out like this, he must have been slow playing a 5 or an 8 in the small blind, and that's cool. He can't expect me to be folding $40 most of the time.
Oh man, It's a great bet regardless, that's for sure. You are the small blind, so 8 and 5 is completely in your range. But if you missed, you have to bet. Value. Oh, shit. But I have an ace, so you probably know that. So do you really think I would fold my ace for 40? No. So you want me to call? Shit. Nice hand. Huh? Nothing's ever a no-brainer, that's for sure. Not in this game. I don't think he makes a $40 bluff there. Check.
8. You ready?
I had ace jack. Was ace jack good? No? I didn't think so. Queens? Another pretty simple hand. Got jacks on the button. I raise pre to 13. We get 3 other players.
Yeah, 13. 4 players.
So 4 plays a flop. Flops queen, 7-8, 2 diamonds. Eventually checks around to me. I bet 45. And it folds out. Pick up the pot real easy. I'll show you. Jacks, yeah. So a couple hands later, I get into it with an opponent that I folded the pair of aces to earlier when the board double paired. So I raise to 12 from the cutoff. He calls in the big blind, and we go heads up. At this point, I look at his stack. He's got like 120 behind. Obviously, I'm going to be watching for a jam with anybody with this stack size. Flop comes queen, jack 9, hit 2 pair. And he leads right out. With the stack as small as his, I was kind of confused. I was mumbling to myself. And he leads out for 30. And if I make this call, I'm basically committing myself to the rest of his chips, which I'm pretty much okay with at this point. So I make the call, thinking I was just going to, maybe I should jam it all in, but if he's betting this big, he's not folding, and I think it's just better long term for me to just call down, because if he's got a hand that beats me, then I save myself in the long run. But the turn comes king, so now I have a gut shot as well as 2 pair, and he jams. You know, I was basically already at this point anyways in my head, so I call, and he rolls over king queen. So he flopped top pair with a good kicker and turned the kicker for top 2 on a pretty scary board, decided to jam it in. I already decided that I was committing myself based on his stack, and the board run out just didn't work out. No 10 came, and we ship him over like 120 bucks. Nice hand.
In this hand, I wake up with King 10 off in the cutoff. I limp for 2, and the button behind me raises 8 total. 2 other players and myself make the call of 6 more, so 4 of us go to the flop.
4 players.
Flop is Queen 10 tray, rainbow. It checks all the way through. The turn is an 8. There's 1 check. The second player bets out 10. I call. The button calls. 3 of us to the river.
Free play.
River is another tray pairing the board, and we all check through for a showdown. I'm pretty sure my hand is best, and I'm just trying to bluff catch at this point. Sure enough, we roll it all over, and 10s hold up. Pretty simple hand here. There's a few players in. I have ace 9 off. Flop is 9, 6, 5. I make a strong bet, and everybody folds. Top pair, top kicker.
Check. And 12.
Easy, huh? If you're into those kicker thing, yeah. I'd rather hit my 9 as top pair than my ace there.
Live 5.
Call. Here to go. Spirit rock. Beautiful.
Not even a rocket.
I know. It's great. This makes it even better.
Just walking upstairs, I just saw it.
The spirit rock, bro. This beast. Check.
Yeah.
What? Check, dude. Sorry.
You're trying to sell it to people.
17 to the back room. Give me back here in the corner. Check. $16.
That's gonna be my only souvenir from Reno.
Show me the ace, bro. Go ahead.
Stone cold bluff.
Was it a bluff?
Bad pick. Yeah, I picked my spot. Very bad.
It actually
Steve, tell me again.
Spirit rock. Spirit rock.
It was a spirit rock.
It was a spirit rock.
God, I love you.
Maybe it was,
You're so unique and individual.
standing behind and sweating.
Okay, alright, I'll give it to you.
No, come on, man.
No, it's definitely, you can't overdo this.
rock.
You can't overpower the spirit rock, bro. Come on. Go ask Austin, he knows. He knows where this thing came from, dude. And if you know that, then it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Dulce mas.
12. Go.
Oh, after the table roll. Dulce is 12.
But Moss means more, so it should have been 14.
Oh,
But
That's
English at the
mas.
table.
Yes, mas. Sorry.
the moss.
Okay.
English at the table, you put in 12, so.
Dulce total. Coming up in
Re-raise.
Thanks. What the fuck is going on with you, bro? Do you hate me or something? Jesus Christ. How much?
30 more.
Mary, 3-6 limit, Mary.
Okay, might as well just give you more of my money. Money, money, money.
Sick.
I've been on my way here. Yes, I have. I've been
Queens are good.
I just want to go.
Get me the fuck out of here. Same fucking hand. I just can't get to my room.
This is Ryan's stack.
My stack.
It's not mine.
It's not his. It's mine. We're out. Back to Vegas. Buddy pass. We are very lucky people. We're loved by many. And we appreciate it.
Smoking is permitted at designated curbside areas.
Slept very little, played massive amounts of poker. It's time to get home. Thank you for watching. Wow. After 42 hours at the poker table, in just a couple days, all-nighters in Reno. It was amazing. Don't forget to subscribe and like the videos. Catch you on the next one.
Arms out and down. Again, inhale and stretch high.